Howdy, howdy, everyone. We're going to be starting soon. Okay. All right. Okay, I gotta get in host mode. So let's go to our gameplay stream. Here we are. Hey. Ray, and Perry with me here today again. You guys want to say hello? Howdy do?
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Don't sound too enthusiastic.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. I want Thanksgiving to be here already.
Oh my gosh, you make me sound like Eeyore.
I'm teasing. I shouldn't tease though. Okay, so we're working on a cover. So let's do some thumbs. Let's do some thumbs real quick. So I'm going to switch things up just a little bit. Now, let me clear this already. Clear. And I'm going to go and I'm going to do almost like a 50% gray. Drop that in. Come up above. I'm going to switch my pencil to... Who jumped on? Pretzel Rocks? No, that's our...
That's the music.
Yeah. I didn't get to see who jumped on. But welcome. Alright, here we go. Let's go back to black. Okay. So let's thumbnail it out real quick. It's always important to start with thumbnails, because that's where we're working out the details.
Like, hear my cat meowing in the distance, and I'm wondering if he's gonna come in here and want attention.
Animals are always welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. For our vampire hunter, do we do the Inquisition hat? Yes or no?
Ooh. I think it adds a nice silhouette for sure.
That's sort of like a fun silhouette.
Do you want an Inquisition hat or something more similar to like Bloodborne, maybe?
Well, you know what? Tell me what Bloodborne is. I don't know.
It's a video game that's pretty darn popular. I haven't played it because it's a bit intense.
It's spooky. Is that a fun way to say it's spooky?
It is. Basically, you're like a, Sorry, I'm looking up the Wikipedia page since I haven't actually played it myself.
Oh, that is a cool hat.
Right? Let's see. Bloodborne follows the player character, a hunter, through decrepit Gothic Victorian-era city, whose inhabitants are afflicted with a bloodborne disease. Attempting to find the source of the plague, the player's character unravels the city's mysteries while fighting beasts and cosmic beings. And the main character just has like a really cool hat.
It kind of almost looks like a witch hat, but not like quite as pointy. It's kind of like
it's like
small kind of witch's hat.
I'm a sucker
it's like
for
Dockery.
like, yeah, I'm a sucker for asymmetrical designs. And I think there's a few different like hats and stuff you can equip. I'm not totally sure, but I very much like the vibes. Here, I'll send you a picture over Discord.
Yes, because I think you guys are looking and I can't see, right? Because
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, right now I just have reflector and.
Okay, I sent you a picture on Discord.
All right, let me check it. Oh, now my headphones.
I'll probably send...
I think my headphones work better after I almost yanked my microphone off the...
Oh, jeez.
I know. All right. Okay, so let's Discord. Here we go. Oh wow, yeah, yeah. So it's almost like a
Right?
crazy Revolutionary Guard. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the weapon designs in Bloodborne are really cool too. Like they're not practical, but they look awesome.
Okay. So this is this a comic? Where are you guys reading this at?
It's a video game.
It's a video.
I saw this one off of Google.
Okay. Plenty of stuff to steal off the interwebs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're doing scary vampire face.
Allison K says, "Whoa, hi Chad."
Hey-oh. Hey, it's Allison. You guys remember Allison, right? How you doing, kiddo?
Probably.
It's been a while. Allison, what are you up to?
Allison says, "Doing good. Just been super busy going from Cali to Utah and tons of shows."
All right.
Ooh, that's cool. I really like California, but every time I go to California, it feels like one of those cities where it's like, I could never live there. Like, not cities, but like one of those places. Like, anytime I go to like LA or something, it's like, okay, visiting, cool.
I find
Living,
that really
no.
odd because you definitely have the California vibe.
I feel like I would be better in New York than California.
I mean, okay, yeah. I lived in California for 4 years, so I'm biased, but...
See, Allison agrees, LA is the worst.
Oh, no.
I didn't live in LA, though. When I was there, I lived in the Bay Area, so a little bit more suburb than city.
See, and I,
Okay, I used to visit the Bay Area often.
Yeah.
'Cause I had grandparents in Martinez, so we would go visit the Bay Area pretty often, and like that's the only time where I have been handed like a cup of seafood, and I actually trusted it, and I ate it, and it was delicious.
And I actually trusted it.
Well, yeah, like any other time someone's like, "Here's this cup of seafood," I'm gonna be like, "No, absolutely not." But you know, when I'm
You're
standing on a pier,
this is sus. This is sus
Yeah.
AF.
I'm like,
Well,
I don't want your suspicious fish.
I just got
Suspicious fish.
food poisoning off of onions, so it's
On-
not always
Right,
the-
right.
like,
Onions?
I would have never have guessed that onions was a source of salmonella.
Treacherous onion.
Treacherous onion, salsa.
Almost feels like a good like username. Treacherous onion.
Treacherous. I'd listen to a band called Treacherous Onion.
It's not as good as Overlord Meow Meow, though.
Dude, I once heard the username Alexander Slambleton. I've never been the same.
That's a good one.
That's really good.
So let's
Allison
see.
Allison's asking what you're working on.
So I joined this. Well, I should say I was invited to join. My friends Ali Garza and Tyler Kirkham wanted to know if I wanted to jump on their new comics publishing company, Artist Elite, and I was like, "Do I?" So here's the rub, though. Like, so I said yes, and I had no idea like what was wanted or expected. So I said yes, and then found out I was like, "Oh, hey, we need a comic, and we need it now." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." They're like, "What you gonna do?" I'm like, "Make something up," you know. So anyway, my buddy Jared and I, we've been tossing around vampire ideas, and Jared's got me the script. Should we have the hand crossing over? You know what? That could actually sort of be cool a little bit. Almost like, what if there's...
Ooh, that's ominous.
Right?
I like
this,
that.
This is why you do the
Coming after
thumbnails,
that hat.
kids. Yeah.
Allison says, "Why do you do this to yourself, Chad? And also, have you looked at MTG's vampires?"
What's MTG, guys?
I've actually never heard of it before.
I don't know what that is either.
Allison, you're gonna have to tell us. There's too
You'll
many.
have to enlighten us.
There's too many nerddoms, Allison.
Magic
Yeah.
the Gathering.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I've seen those ads. I saw that like that ad when they're making the bride and groom and putting them on the cake. Have you seen that? Yes. So yes,
Mm-mm.
it's an effective ad. It's really creepy and scary, and they eat people. So
Well, there you go.
just break up the moon just a little bit. Like I said, everything's thumbnails at this point. I think this should, so let's nail down the composition just a little bit more. Like if this is going to be a viable idea, it still needs some work. We can't call it good until it actually is working, and right now it's not working. So let's go back. We're going to need some creepy vampire. I almost feel like we're zoomed in too close. Like I want to zoom out on the vampire face, but I might do
Yeah,
that.
I would zoom out a little bit.
Yeah. But I'm going to go ahead.
If you get like optimum creep.
I'm going to get this finished, like sort of as a thumb, and then I think I'll do another thumb to continue to play with the ideas. I love how this reminds me of like playing video games on a Game Boy when I was like 12.
Oh my god, Game Boy.
Game Boy. It was a black and white Game Boy.
I played on a Game Boy when I was little. I remember simping for a Game Boy Color.
I was given a pink Game Boy.
Pink.
Felt a little sexist. It felt a little sexist at the time, but here we are.
Mine was one of those like clearish gray ones where you could kind of see through the shell a little bit, but it wasn't actually colorful.
So guys, let me ask you this question: should we do the whole? You know, we were drawing inspiration from the Salem's Lot poster, and on the Salem's Lot poster, there's the hand is lit, and then it casts the shadow across the face, and it makes it really creepy. Should we do that, or should we have the light from the moon shooting up underneath? I guess I think we could play. Let's play with it and just.
Yeah, if you're thumbnailing, you might as well play with
Right.
both.
Right, exactly.
Because you could probably get like some really cool rim lighting on the hand as well.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea if you did like the under lighting, like, you know, the lights coming from below, it would kind of be almost like an homage to like the old Hollywood kind of style, you know?
Well, and,
True.
And that, yeah, and
Like horror movies.
That's what we're sort of going for. I don't know what we're gonna do to make it non-cliche yet. We're working on it. You hear that, Allie and Tyler? We're working on it. Okay, so does it work as a thumbnail?
I think
it's
it works as a thumbnail, yeah.
Working a little bit better. Let's keep. What just happened? Oh, huh. I don't know what just happened. There we go. So let's even it out a little bit. It's a little lopsided. So we got the hand on this one side, but then we have just sort of this blank space on the other. I almost feel like some design element should go in here. I don't know if it's a town. Mountains.
Church, I don't know. Forest. I mean, you were working on those one kind of vampiric creatures or something. They were all like woodland.
Yeah. Yeah, so instead of cloud, so we could keep the clouds here, and then this could all be
woods.
like forest, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
So let's zoom out. Let's see if we like this better. I think I am liking it better. Look at this thing there. I think it's. I'm sort of happy with that. So I'm going to take this. I'm happy with this as a thumb. I mean, it's very symmetrical. Kopik's on. Now let me guys.
Kopik doll streams.
And then Josh liked this too. So let me ask you guys stream etiquette. Do we always use people's usernames, or if we know them in real life?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
If you know them IRL and they have told you that it's okay to use their name, then you can.
Okay.
But default is go by the username.
Okay. All right. So let's play with some lighting options on this one before we quit. So I'm just duplicating this real quick. And let's bring in the lights. And let's play with the moon itself as the light source. And let's see if we can create some things that we like.
Highlight those under eye bags.
Ah! Allison laughs when I make mistakes. She thinks it's funny.
You have a lot of sound effects that go with your mistakes, so like I can see where the humor comes from.
True.
So Allison, are you still there? What?
Allison is still here.
Okay, Allison, why were you in LA? Tell us. Were you working in LA on? I like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, guys, let's see. What do you think? There's that lighting from underneath. Sort of competes a little bit. I don't know. So I like it, but I don't know if I like the intensity. But I can always change that later.
It does like detract a little bit of attention from like the main thing because like it's the same amount of brightness as the moon.
Right.
I think your eye's almost like more inclined to go upwards because all the lines are going upwards rather than going down to where your subject is.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I went in too bright. Let's play with the other option.
Okay, so Allison says, I was doing an anime convention and really just trying to get a feel for the convention scene out there and checking out jobs in the Bay Area. Also, I was helping my friend move too. Yes, working, but not artwork.
Okay. Well, good for you. Helping friends. That's what it's all about. All right, so let's try the Salem's Lot inspiration here. Let's go into here and let's turn our... Oh, no. Let's get a new layer. And let's do the...
moving the hand upwards, or are you giving him like a mustache?
I'm actually drawing a shadow.
Oh, okay.
Come on. Tricks are for kids. You guys like my fake
The
swear
other
words?
day, I was eating some tricks, actually, and one of the cereal bits fell on the ground, and my rabbit Biscuit frickin' ran over and ate it, and I was like, stop! This is so
Biscuit
There was
loves the
no
trick.
time.
I was like, cereal's not for bunnies! Give it back! It was too late. You can't
Their
pull something
mascot-
out of a rabbit's mouth like you can with dogs.
Oh,
I am-
gosh.
I am all for rabbits eating cereal. I support Biscuit.
No, no!
do. I'm gonna bring Biscuit some cereal when I come visit. Alright. That's really
It
creepy.
was on that day that the rabbit won the tricks. Tricks were not for kids.
I know. I didn't. You know what's funny? I didn't even think about that. Because
Yeah,
I was thinking about an actual rabbit, and there's a complete disassociation from the Tricks rabbit. Yeah, Ray Ray. It's perfectly appropriate.
I know! I know, that's why it was so funny.
Cuddle Squish knows what's up. Say silly rabbit.
Biscuit is
The tricks
such
were
a
not for kids on this
troublemaker.
day.
That's right.
Such a troublemaker. I really like how that shadow is, looking.
Yeah, me too.
That's cool.
I think it does work better than the rim
Yeah.
lighting.
I agree. It just adds.
Maybe
a
put a
whole-
tiny bit of rim lighting on, like, the hand,
Yeah, but let's.
but then the shadow helps to make sure that your attention isn't drawn away from the main character there.
Yeah, and let's. I was about to say we'll learn from our mistakes and not go super intense. We won't go white.
Mhm.
We'll just. Well, you know what? That's maybe a little. Let's.
Maybe like a 30 or a 20 gray or something.
Yeah. And I'm gonna brighten the hand. Okay, let's zoom out now. I like that a lot better.
Yeah, that looks real good.
So I'm definitely gonna need photo reference for this though, so I'm probably gonna have to at one point. Okay, so there's that though. That's just one thumbnail idea, and this is the one we like for there. I want to explore some more options where we zoom out even further on this one, and maybe fit some other elements and not just have the one. And then there we go. All right, right. Logo here. Ah! Oh, wrong layer. Still wrong layer.
Come on, Chad.
Alright. If there's anyone watching that's an awesome logo designer, apply within. I designed one logo once. You guys ever even seen Johnny Dangerously?
No, can't say I have.
I don't think so.
It's a great film. Michael Keaton, check it out.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah. Who I also found out today was on Sesame Street.
What?
Oh my gosh, I thought you were going to say he was dead.
No.
I don't know why.
Uh-oh.
For some reason, I did in fact see like a news article that was like, the title was, "Hey, remember him? Well, he's dead." And it was like an article of like 22 celebrities that you know or but didn't know were dead.
That's sad.
I was like, why would you make that the title?
I want that to be the title of my obituary. Are you kidding me? Hey, you know this person? Oh yeah, they died.
That's so wrong.
It's a little brutal.
Yeah. That's exactly. Let's see, copy.
I mean, so I've thought about like my death often, like in like a bad way, but just kind of in like a how, no. I want that handled. And honestly, I don't really think I want a grave because I don't like the idea of people knowing where I am all the time.
So
For some reason, that's very fitting for you.
But okay, you have a lot more options today than you used to have. You have the whole be made into a tree.
Dude, I want
I've
that
heard-
one.
Be made into a diamond.
That one would be pretty
Okay.
cool too.
I did once actually consider being made into like diamonds and stuff and like given to people so I can haunt them, but that sounds like a lot of work.
No, no, you don't haunt loved ones. What is happening?
Alex,
Whoever
sorry,
said they were loved ones?
Harry would absolutely haunt loved ones.
Yeah,
I
sure,
just
can
think
haunt
being
loved
made
ones, but
into
I
a
also
tree
think I
would be
can haunt
nice.
Enemies.
See, I'm trying to.
Oh.
I told Joy I was like, just put me someplace close to you. I don't care if I'm a tree. I don't care if you make me into a diamond. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really important. I don't see the need to be pumped with chemicals and put in the ground so I can become a zombie later. So I'm okay with the whole make me into a Pop-Tart and speed up the process by 1,000 years, which is another way of saying I'm okay with being cremated. But I do want my remains close to Joy. And I'm assuming she's really going to outlive me by a long time too. So. So
I want to
I
say
sized that down just a little. I thought maybe this is a little too big too, so I'm going to size that down and see if we can't get a composition that's a little bit more busy. Sure like that effect. Unintentional fun.
smoky, hazy.
I'm gonna start singing karaoke to our fun time music. Okay, so let's see, like that, and we may or may not keep that. All right, so now vampires, the Dracules, the non-sparklies.
Sometimes I just wonder, like, where the whole concept of, like, vampires have to be sexy came from.
Okay, so I'm assuming it's in the book, right?
Which book?
Dracula by Bram Stoker. Did I say that
Oh.
right? Which is pretty fascinating. I'm actually listening to it on Audibles right now. And the book is written as a series of letters. Or at least the part and so, like, you know, basically you're finding out all these happenings from, like, different correspondence, and so each person's dealings with Dracula are different. So there's some where it's like he's beautiful and everything you want and, you know, attractive, and then there's others where he's just like a complete monster. So anyway, so there's a lot of mystery there.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it almost sounds like a weird metaphor for, like Satan.
The devil.
What?
The devil.
Yeah.
The devil.
Are you
made
gonna
me do it.
explain or just leave it at that?
I mean, I can. So, well, okay, because I've talked to my friends a good couple of times about whether or not, you know, the devil would be, like, quite fine, if you will. And, I mean, you figure it's like the overseer of temptation and that kind of stuff. So, like, I feel like it would have to have something going on. it would have to appeal to pretty much every person so that they could fall into that like temptation trap. However, I feel like there could also be some that would maybe like see past that. Like, I'm sorry, no one is that good looking. I am not that lucky. And then like you would just see it as like, the monster that it is.
So I'm getting the impression though that it's almost like okay. And at the time, things like hypnosis were sort of in their infancy, and same with psychiatry, and you know what I mean?
All like the mental
right
science.
Yeah, all of it was almost like half magic, half science at the time. And so I wonder if there's some, I don't want him in a cloak. I want him, if I'm drawing him as a monster. I don't want like the typical.
We don't need another Templar sexy man vampire.
Yeah. I want something that scares children on a poster.
Nice.
And then they watch
I
it
like
from
scaring children
behind the couch. See, I it sort of makes me sad that kids don't do things like that anymore, where they like sneak into movies because they just watch it on their phone. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah.
You know? Like we if we were gonna sneak into like an inappropriate movie, like an R-rated movie when we were kids, we had to actually sneak into the movie. Like, you really wanted to have to see that because you were gonna get you're risking getting caught. You're risking, having the theater yank you out by your ear and then call your parents to come pick you up. And that would be the worst. Because that meant you were going to get a good old-fashioned beating.
You could say 20 lashings.
Yeah.
I think I've never stuck into a movie theater, but I did play this game in high school called Movie Roulette with my friends.
That
Like my
sounds
friend.
interesting.
I'm gonna say I'm giving myself too much credit with my friend. So
Aww. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's like
I shouldn't.
oh, you're good. Like I laugh at it as well.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so on Tuesdays, because they do the $5 Tuesday. Basically, suggested the idea of like, let's just show up to the movie theater at some random time, go in, we just ask for a ticket to like whatever the next movie is that's going to be playing, and go. We don't even ask what the movie is, you just get the ticket and you go. So it kind of became like this weird, roulette game that we would play with movies. It was only $5, so.
Yeah, we would get one ticket for like whatever kids movie was playing, and then we would just go from theater to, because this is like when they had like the Cinedome, and we would just go from theater to theater to theater, and we'd be there from like the morning at the matinee till they shut it down at night. So I remember seeing Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and Octopussy on the same day. So
That sounds like quite the day.
Alright, I'm working too close, so I'm going to zoom out.
Oh yeah, it's reminding me of the Midnight Mass
Oh, so good.
Empire. I
was
love
so
the whole
good.
I love the whole premise of that show. Like the I don't want to give too much away, but I thought the way they kind of handled the whole like religion aspect and like integrating the vampires was very clever.
Yeah,
Like very fascinating.
it was so good though. Soundtrack especially. If you're not a Neil Diamond fan, you are now. You guys want me to sing Suleiman to you?
I mean, I'm okay.
If you feel like go ahead.
Perry's like, nope. Ray's like, go ahead.
Now we know who's good cop and who's bad cop.
Perry, you are definitely
Good
the
question.
bad. You are definitely the bad cop. Let me answer
I
that.
feel like I'm
Like, that
an
was a good
enabler, but I wouldn't necessarily call that good cop, 'cause sometimes it's not a good thing.
Allison asked if we've seen Arcane.
Yes. Have
I
you guys
have
seen
not
it?
You started it?
Oh
No, I
my
really want
gosh.
to. I really want to, but I have not seen it yet.
It is.
Starting it over the
It
break
is
because it looks really interesting.
Yeah, didn't you guys see that we could stream it if we like parody it or something?
It depends on the content, but yeah, if you have like a small screen and then you're actively reacting to it and making the content, so you're not just like streaming the Netflix screen and that's it, then usually yeah, you'll get people that'll do reactions and stuff a lot of the time.
It is.
That's
It
cool.
is so awesome. It is awesome. I was watching
Someone
it
told me.
and I'm just going, I'm in the wrong art. That's how good it was. It made me regret my artistic decisions that I wasn't doing animation for them.
Whoa.
It is beautiful. You need to watch it, and you need to watch it now. It is the coolest looking animation I have ever seen. And I was just geeking out over like What The? And don't get me wrong, What The as a show is meh, but the animation is top notch. So like I was like, okay, this is like the way of the future after watching What The? Absolutely wrong. Go watch Arcane, and you guys seriously go watch it now while I draw. Like if you haven't seen it, just turn it on Netflix right now and look at it.
I have homework for your
It
class.
is so...
I know. I'm
can't watch Arcane.
I'm working on my BFA. Like, I can't just drop everything.
But you can and should. It is so... Look, Allison agrees. It's that good. Everyone, we should.
I'm watching it over the break.
We should stop and watch it tonight in concept art and just say, okay, you guys, this
Oh,
is...
can we please?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because, we're supposed to turn in our 3 to 5, creature designs and stuff, and only 6 people have posted, I think.
Uh-oh.
They're roughs.
Uh-oh.
So, honestly, we can just go over, what's there really quickly, and then start up Arcane.
Well, I think everyone is just waiting the last minute like they always do.
I don't know why, but it seems like this semester there's a significant amount of burnout that I haven't really seen before.
I think it's because my theory is we're halfway in COVID, halfway out of COVID, and things aren't back to normal. And there's a lot of other crazy stuff going on. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seems like every other student that I talk to, it's like all of us are tired. We're all exhausted.
Oh yeah.
But not in a, normal way where it's like, oh, it's whatever. It's like the regular, scholastic exhaustion. No, it's straight up burnout, and it's kind of surprising.
Yeah, I think that's... Well, first of all, I've stopped listening to the news. I've just...
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not... If it happens, I'm going to find out when it happens directly to me. I just can't even... I just can't anymore. Deal with...
I have friends who are super into the news. They stay up on current events a lot, and I'm like, if anything important happens that I should know about, they'll tell me.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Someone be like, the alien overlords are here today to collect their intergalactic taxes. That yeah.
I'd be like, it is about time.
Yeah. Otherwise,
it's about time.
Otherwise, I don't want to know because it's never good. It's never good news. Okay, I'm sort of liking that, guys. What do you think? I definitely like the smaller Witch Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
I do think
I like how overwhelming it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I like how it's not so asymmetrical. It feels a lot less asymmetrical. Oops.
I feel like you get like a much better feel for what kind of creature you're getting into with this comic.
Yeah.
You know?
Daggone it. A ding dang do. Alright, there we go.
That makes me want to go listen to Cotton Eye Joe. How dare you?
There we go. Look at this. Yeah.
Biscuit snoring again.
Oh,
Oh,
Biscuit.
Biscuit.
Give Biscuit some more tricks. I'll wake him up. Oh, we got sexy vampire abs.
Hell yeah.
You have to have the
that
abs.
was way too quick of a reaction.
I don't care if the abs are like sexy or emaciated corpse looking, but they have to
Abs
be
are
there.
a must.
It's a requirement.
No skipping ab day.
Oh yeah. Ab him up.
Yeah, I'm definitely liking this better. And this is why we do thumbnails.
Wow.
I'm liking that a lot. Okay. Now I just need a
Oh, yeah.
hunky model. Alright, let's do the same thing with our highlights. Should we do Moon as highlights? Or should we do this whole trick? Because we like this better.
We did.
I don't know what to do.
We can make multiple thumbnails. It's not a problem.
We can. Alright. So let's do the same thing that we did last time, and we'll... What'd I just do? Something's... Ah, stop! There we go. Boink. Alrighty. So are we going to talk about Spider-Man? We're going to talk about Spider-Man at all? So listen, here's...
I still didn't watch the trailer.
You
Jeez.
haven't? Okay, so maybe we shouldn't. I was about to say, my best friend is a film student, and if he even suspects that I'm going to drop spoilers or talk about a trailer, he's out. He's like, I'm not listening to this.
I'm kind of the
I can
same
watch
way.
it right now,
Okay.
real
I
quick.
took no. I took film in high school, like some special film classes. And so if I watch the trailer, I'm gonna pick up on stuff, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah,
I have
Oh,
to
no.
make sure I don't hear anything,
yeah,
but I can't predict what's gonna come.
yeah. He doesn't want the taint of...
Yeah, exactly. I am exactly the same way.
I messed that up. Come on, Pooh Bear. Think. There we go. I think I grabbed the wrong pin.
Biscuit, you are snoring.
Oh,
so
wait a minute.
loud.
Oh. Hey, okay. I can maybe get into this, actually.
I am so in. Like, the only thing I love more than Spider-Man is X-Men and New Mutants. And let's face it, we're probably never going to get a good New Mutant movie in the next, I don't know, 100 years. I'll probably be dead by the time they get a good New Mutant movie. Unless they invent the pill that creates immortality, I'll probably be dead before. I resign, or my robot body, I'll have a robot body, and my emotions will be dead, so I won't get to enjoy it. I'll just be able to observe it like Mr. Spock.
I'm just imagining your head in like a glass jar in a robot,
Yeah.
like showing up in the film.
And I totally want like an 80s robot voice emulator. I don't want to sound like myself. I'm gonna be like, meep, 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 meep. Just like that.
If you're gonna have a robot body, then like why wouldn't you?
That would sort of be fun to have a robot body.
The trailer's still going. I swear, I simp for villains way too hard. Like, I see villains and I'm like, okay, now I'm into this.
Well, and there's a lot that you can... We can't talk about it, though, Perry, or we're gonna...
No.
We're gonna
Jeez,
get...
Ray.
We have friends like Raina that...
I'm sorry.
You're not.
No, I'm not.
You're not.
We could talk about Dune, though. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's true. Can be Dune. Ha.
That was so bad.
I know. I regret nothing.
It was... I think, like I said, Blade Runner 2049 replaced Blade Runner as the most stunning visual movie ever made. And now I think Dune might have replaced Blade Runner. I liked it that much. But I'm very
It
biased.
was amazing.
Like sandworms.
Swarms, my beloved.
Worms. Yeah.
Swarms.
You guys are better watch out. Shai Hulud might take offense and...
At what? It's an affectionate
Swarms?
nickname. Swarms.
Swarms?
It's affectionate.
Okay.
Just take two words and put them together.
Yeah.
Swarm.
What do we think? Enough lighting?
highlight
in that?
Oh, I like the lighting in that one.
Okay.
Indeed.
It does kind of draw away from the main character a little bit, though.
Yeah, this one definitely... Well, that's why we're doing options, though.
Yep, that's why we're doing
Yeah.
options.
Yeah.
That song was driving me a little bit crazy. Come on, Pretzel.
Okay, so back to swarms.
Exactly.
Not just swarm.
Dude, it was so cool. I really loved them. Oh my gosh. Because I've never read Dune before.
You
Ever doing it before?
I know. I'm sorry.
Wah,
I'm
wah,
sorry. But the world building and stuff, the special like sand walking they had to do.
Oh yeah. It was very
How
thought
the
out.
worm wasn't quite able to detect them after they went on the rocks because the vibrations stopped. The teeth. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
How the
The
sand
teeth.
freaking like traps them because of the vibrations as the worm approaches.
Yeah,
It's all just so cool.
Yes.
I love
I was,
creature design like that.
Talking to Zach after the film, and honestly, like, when it comes to world building and that kind of stuff, this movie has me a lot more invested than Star Wars.
That's fair.
Yeah, I know some people, they will live and die by Star Wars. I get that. I respect it. I don't have to agree with it, but I respect it. But yeah, there's something about this. It like, I don't know if it's because like, while it is a new like sci-fi kind of world, it still almost falls within like this interesting realm of believability to a degree, where it's like, oh yeah, this feels like it could be like, it feels more realistic, which I think makes it a little bit more interesting.
The thing that has to do with in stories and in film and that sort of thing is called suspension of disbelief. The more that you can make a world that has rules and whatnot that mimic real life, it's easier to immerse yourself in that world. And when things happen, it maintains that suspension of disbelief, which allows you to like completely just enjoy the content for what it is. Versus with something like Star Wars, occasionally things will happen where you're like, oh, well, that would never happen. Okay.
I feel like the world building in Star Wars is almost like a little half-baked.
A little bit.
Sunuvia says, well, Star Wars isn't really sci-fi. We see this different...
And there you go.
Okay, we see this
Star
different
Wars
sagas
is
with the different motives.
space wizards. And Dune is science fiction.
Okay.
And
Okay, maybe that's why. Like, I'm not a fantasy person. I've never really, like, been invested in that genre.
I wasn't
But,
either
you know,
until
real, like,
Game of Thrones.
sci-fi.
Game of Thrones, I was in.
I've never thrown the games, I'm sorry.
What? You didn't read the books?
Chad is going
No,
to be
like, I
nothing
had a
but
friend-
disappointed in us.
You know what? I already have plenty of people disappointed in me. I'm not phased anymore.
Oof.
So it like I have a friend who is really big into Game of Thrones, like tried to get me into it. I watched the first episodes, I think, like the first couple of episodes, and I'm like, okay, so it's like swords and incest. I'm good.
So both George R.R. Martin and Frank Herbert basically took things that actually have happened in history, and basically incorporated it into their stories. So everything that happened, that obviously dragons didn't happen, but like incest, assassinations, people killing their brothers, all of that has historical basis, and a lot of everything that is happening in Dune, it's very similar. I mean, the spice is roughly both oil and the perfect drug.
True.
So it's a thought experiment. Be like, well, what if this thing were both these things, and it only came from one place? So it's a really fun thought experiment, but it's also amazing that we didn't take we should have taken it as like a precautionary tale a little bit, because
Right.
the world economy still runs on oil. So I didn't like, I did the whole shadow in the face, didn't like it at all, but I did like just the darkening of the values.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to keep that, but I'm not going to do the shadows in the face. I felt like that only works right there, and it didn't really work right here.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Especially with like the angle that everything's kind of looking at.
yeah. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, AJ Slay says they all look so good, man.
Well, thank you. I think I know which AJ it is, but
No, you don't.
I don't.
No.
I don't. I have two AJ friends on here. It's the moon, but I will make that more apparent. Okay, I'm trying to think of like other ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Should we do sexy vampire instead of horrifying vampire?
Oh, hey.
Yes.
Yes. Would
just to see.
Okay.
I was telling
Just to
Ray
see.
earlier, even before we got on the chat, you were saying something about like the vampire concept, but you dipped out before you could finish. I told Ray, I'm like, I don't know where he was going with that, but I was about to tell him, as long as it's sexy, I don't care.
You're not attracted to emaciated corpses?
I mean, I didn't say that, but
We're all going
You see the
to
Draugr in
battles.
Skyrim and you go, mmm.
soup.
Soup, good soup.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's do it. Let's see.
I think I messed up my eyebrows because I was laughing so hard. Great.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
For context, I draw them on every day. So cool.
So I've got a question about your eyebrows now that you've brought it up.
Okay, yeah.
Do you actually have like actual eyebrows underneath there, or You-
I do, just like, I'm naturally blonde, so you can't really see them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I fill them in so dark. And plus, well, I think I've told you the story before about, like, when I got them, like, waxed off one time and there was, like, nothing there, so I panicked.
I
was like,
don't
okay.
think you did tell me this story.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
so-
we would have remembered this.
Yeah.
So I was in California. I went into like this, hair cutting studio, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, we can wax your eyebrows." And I'm like, "Well, I've never done that before, but sure, why not?" So they do that, and yeah, I had like barely any eyebrows left.
Oh boy.
Again, blonde, and then I just got like half of them ripped off. So I was like, "Great, what am I gonna do?" I'm like, "Well, people fill in their eyebrows. I don't know how to do that." I'm like, "Okay, what do I know? I know cartoon characters. I know what their eyebrows look like." And they're typically just really dark, and they're kind of like lines. So I started doing that, and that's why my eyebrows are black, even though my hair's not black at all.
You know what?
It
That's
kind
valid.
of works. Oh,
Okay, read the chat, guys. We're getting-
let's see.
AJ says my little brother told me I look like a Draugr, so Sanuvius is something supernatural in science fiction. It's fantasy. I don't.
I think they're asking another
understand
person in the chat a question.
Oh.
There's another person in the chat who is Sanuvius, and I think they're kind of having like their own little mini
Oh.
talk
Okay.
about fantasy and
So long
sci-fi.
as they don't expect an answer from me, because I don't know. I don't know.
This feels like it could turn into like a pretty heated debate, the sci-fi versus fantasy.
Oh, it's yeah,
It's a whole thing.
it is.
There was a Phineas and Ferb episode about it. It like it's real.
I don't know anything about Phineas and Ferb other than
You don't
Harry
really
the
need to.
Platypus.
Okay.
Like I've watched the episodes, and the things that have stood out to me the most is like Triangle Head, Perry the Platypus, and I relate to Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Like that's it.
Oh, hey Chad, AJ Slay is saying, "Tell me about your vampire story, though. What is it about?
Well,
Are
I
you
don't-
allowed?
Can you talk
You
about it?
allowed
I don't
to?
think you can talk about it.
we have like a blurb, a prepared blurb, and I think we could talk about that. It's Castlevania meets Hammer horror, so sort of a new spin on things, and while at the same time respecting the source material.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
We gotta do saucy, smoldering vampire.
Oh, the smolder.
And he has promise. I think for my final assignment in the environment class that I'm in, actually like been given a lot of free reign. We just have to do some kind of like either landscape or cityscape or whatever that is either sci-fi or fantasy.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter like what direction we go in. I think the requirements are like we need one tree, we need a bridge, a mode of transportation,
You need
some kind of
a tree.
architecture. We
You
need at least
need a tree.
one tree.
This is not up for debate. There has to be a tree.
Yeah.
At least one.
I'm not.
Or
in this-
else.
So did this actually happen? And it caused you guys trauma? That instructor Perry said you had to draw a tree? Is that?
We just kind of like made a thing about it. Like, okay, tree, just one tree. It's just kind of funny. It's like, man, I could do like the freaking Charlie Brown Christmas tree and be like, it's a tree, and it. Like,
What the heck? I checked my phone and I've got 4 blocked calls from the same number that says scam likely, and they're all within the same like 3 minutes.
they really
Excuse
want to tell you
me?
about your car's extended warranty.
Actually, I got cold texted the other day from a realtor who was like, "Hey, do you know this person at this property?" Or okay, they assumed I was that person at that property. They were like, "Can we make you an offer?" Smiley face. And I was like, okay, first of all, in my head, I was like, that's my dad. I don't know how you got my number. He's not looking to sell at all, especially given the housing market right now. Because what realtors are doing, they're resorting to cold calling people so that they can give them an offer that's below market price and then flip the house. And then the person who just sold their house doesn't have enough money to buy a new one since the market is so inflated right now. So I texted them back. I was like, wrong number. And so they texted back. They were like, oh, I'm sorry. Do you know this person? And I was like, listen. Okay, so they were like, do you know this person, or do you have other properties you would be interested in selling? And I was like, bruh, I am a 23-year-old college student. You think I own a house? Don't bother contacting so-and-so either, because he's not interested. And then I just blocked them. Oh my gosh.
I wonder how they got your number, though.
I don't know! I don't know! Let alone connected to, like, my dad's actual address. Like, how? Excuse me?
I signed up for a, I filled out a survey once at a hotel in Vegas. Worst mistake I've ever made. I mean, they will not lose my number. And it sucks. I would say like a third of my phone calls are from people trying to get me invested in a timeshare now. It's
oh
the
boy.
worst.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
For real estate.
I'm trying to remember my mom's Harlequin romance novels that she read growing up.
I was gonna say,
This
this looks
is
like one of
feeling
those,
like a Fabio cover.
80s. Yeah.
Hey,
one of those
ladies.
80s romance.
Hey, ladies.
Wow. Looking at it like, yeah, this is something a housewife would read. Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
I don't know. I've been looking at like Babs Tarr's covers for Nightwing. I think the Beefcake's in.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I followed her on Twitter, and this cover. Pretty neat.
There's all these people. I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna. Except to say that Bab's an awesome artist and everyone should support her.
Dude.
And an awesome person, and everyone should. Anyway.
She has Beetlejuice as her profile picture, and he's leaning back like,
right? Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you must be a cool person.
Yeah, exactly. She is. Amazing. In every way.
Ryan Brown is here.
Ryan! Oh, Ryan, you liking the
Loving that
beefcake?
composition.
He really does look like one of those. Come read this book. There is sexy in it.
The only thing's missing is like, I don't know, sweat dripping down like the side of the vampire.
Oh my
just make it
gosh.
moist.
Give us
Whoa.
time. Give us time. We're working on it. This is just a thumbnail. Sweat's a small. Alright, let's start blocking in some value.
The strangest like phrasing direction I've ever given. Just like make them moist.
Hey, this is a family podcast.
You know?
We're into wholesome topics like vampires eating people's
I was gonna
faces.
say wholesome. We were talking about like death and cremation earlier.
I know, right? But there's lines that even we won't cross.
I'm gonna catalog this for future critiques so I can just say like, it needs more moisture.
Oh boy. I do sort of like the real. It does create like a really interesting shape that's different from everything else we've done.
Yeah, I do like the clouds and the silhouette.
Sunavia says Babstar is excellent.
For sure. That looks horrible. And I cannot figure out why.
You could try flipping the canvas.
No, it's just like when I was filling in... Let's try something else here. There we go.
When I was working on my creatures last night, I was like trying to find something to listen to, so I just put on Squid Game again. Like,
you're memorizing it now?
well, here's the thing. So when I was listening back to it, I swear they changed some of the dub.
Really?
Some of the wording. Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's like, oh, it's different.
You think they did it to sort of set things up for season 2? Is that the theory?
I don't think it was for season 2. I think like, I don't know if it was like translation issues or something, or like, well, I mean, for example, I think the first time I watched it, you know, the second game with the honeycomb, I think they just called it honeycomb. They didn't really like, they just called it like the honeycomb game or something. But this time they actually called it by like what the name of the treat is in Korea. It's like Dapgonna or something.
The what?
I'm probably saying that wrong. The name of like the honeycomb treat in Korea, it's called like Dapgonna.
They definitely called it like something honey. I don't know if it was honeycomb, but it was like something honey. It did not have a an Asian name in the English dub. Okay, so you'd be right there. Like I would remember.
So that changed.
Okay.
Another thing that changed was I was gonna say, because it's been out for like weeks now. In game 4, when they're gonna like shoot the one girl, I think the first couple times I watched it, she was saying like, you know, I'm honored that you played with me, but this time she just said, you know, thank you for playing with me, and then shot. I'm like, oh, that's different.
That's essentially the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's like the same kind of sentiment, but I just thought it was interesting how they switched up the wording. I was like, oh, I wonder why they did that. Not a bad choice, it was just different.
Yeah. No, I've wondered that too. Like I've watched movies, and I could have swore things were different. Like and the one I remember the most is Hunt for Red October. I swear that originally that movie was an R-rated release because you basically saw the guy's head explode when he got shot. The Russian spy. The Russian KGB agent on the Red October, and then when it came out to DVD, they edited it because PG-13 is just way more marketable, and they took it out, and they took out F words too. So, that's probably a common practice, and we're just not aware of it. And the problem is if they're doing it while it's still streaming, then how would you ever know? Because you could never have, like, in theory, someone could have a DVD. Like, I have, like, 4 different versions of Blade Runner. I have 4 different DVDs of Blade Runner. And there's some with the narration, there's some without the narration, there's the theatrical release, the director's cut, the final director's cut, and the definitive edition. So, it does happen. There's precedence, for sure. I don't know why, but I guess they feel like things are better a certain way. But with Squid Game, I don't know why they would change it so soon. Unless they felt like it was a bad translation or something.
That's what I'm thinking, because it's not even like they really changed any of the scenes or anything like that. It was just like a few words and phrases here and there in the English dub. So I'm thinking it might have just been like a translation thing. I mean, I've seen like multiple people talk about how the translation doesn't really do it justice. Stuff because like you don't really get the same nuances.
As well.
Yeah, you don't get like the same nuances you would get if you know, knew Korean. For example, the one lady, I can't remember what her name is, but it's, you know, the annoying one.
Yeah.
So apparently, her whole character, like this, you know, character trope in Korea of people who are they're very intelligent, but because they came from lower income families, they were never able to, you know, utilize their intelligence basically. You know, like they were never able to like go to university, do any of that stuff. So I think because they came from lower income, they aren't exactly like seen in the same light as people who did go to university, but like they're still very intelligent. And apparently that was the whole thing with her character. You know, like some of her lines and stuff were alluding to like, oh, what the heck is it? I mean, there were multiple times when she would say like, you know, I'm good at everything except the things I can't do, or like, you know, I'm not that smart, but like I've got it where it counts. Apparently that was kind of like a mistranslation. It's supposed to be like, you know, I'm smart, I just never like studied or something.
Well,
so I'm like, oh.
I noticed that as well with the North Korean character, the North Korean girl, because apparently, like if you're a girl and you escape to South Korea, like the only hope you have is that they're going to sell you into the sex trade, and that's, you know, so and it alludes to that, like the mob boss guy. That's how she knew him.
Doksu?
Yeah. So there's and if you look at the story, like when she goes back and yeah. Anyway, it's, and I wouldn't have known that except for some reason. Gosh, what was I watching? There's like a YouTube video or something about North Korea, and I had just watched it about like, you know, like what they do to people that, you know, what the living conditions are like there and what they do to people there. So, but there's some things that you're not going to get that unless you know about it. And how would you ever know about it unless A, they told you, or B, you did your own individual research. So
Right.
I don't know.
It was like just small cultural nuances.
Right, exactly.
I'm following the advice you gave me last week with some of my compositions and stuff, and I think they're turning out a lot better.
Good. Good. You know, do you want to, you know, you know what, I could probably grab, no. Oh, Russ is on. Hey, Russ. You guys need to meet Russ. Russ is a mover.
I think I
and
know
a shaker.
Russ.
Do you guys know Russ?
The name is familiar.
I don't think so.
So what do you guys think? I sort of like the whole romance, sexy vampire up top.
I like the silhouette of that one more.
I do too.
I do like. I like the silhouette of that one more. I'm just, the only thing I'm not sure about is if the vibe fits the actual comic from what you've described to us so far. Unless you wanted to do some of the stuff that we were talking about just before stream, like growing up, maybe one of the chicks like back, almost, maybe? Am I being too vague?
I don't, well, it's good that you're being vague, because we don't want to...
Yeah, okay.
Like implementing some of those like reference photos and stuff that you gathered before the stream and like kind of throwing them in there.
Because then it would look like it would have that romance kind of vibe, except you're like, oh, something is deeply wrong here. There is something more to this than just vampire romance.
Right.
Like a danger element to it.
Yeah! Did you guys hear that? Yeah! They just threw it in there. in the pretzel song. Yeah! Yeah!
AJ Slice says, I like the other ones, honestly, not gonna lie.
Okay.
Seems more ominous.
Well, see, okay.
I'd agree with that. There's like the looming...
This is where we have a hard time with art, right? Like, I had a student in my office yesterday during office hours, and they were like so frustrated over like when they get critiques. And I don't know how much I should say because I definitely don't want to like, you know, breach confidentiality between teacher and student. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's not like physics. It's not like chemistry. It's not like math where there's an objective.
There's no definite answer.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to respond to things differently. Everything's going to have, you know, their own personal motivations, their own everything. So it's hard to say. It's just hard to say, you know, what's the right move. I could go with any of them. And, you know, maybe that's one of the things, like this one's very, very sexy without being ominous. We could definitely do a version where there is like, you know, where
Some of that stuff to make it more ominous.
Right, exactly. Maybe he's not beefcakey. Maybe he's got a monster face and yeah.
I'm all like sickly and spindly.
Yeah, exactly.
What I would do, Chad, I would talk to your writer and ask which vibe he would rather go for. Get some opinion there, since you guys are collabing.
I'm definitely gonna send this to Jared and let Jared have his feedback for sure. So. I'll let him have his feedback and then I will override him.
Oh my gosh.
Jared,
I'm like, okay, I hear what you're saying. I know what you want.
I am teasing. You know what though? I mean, I am going to say this though. I'm going to draw what I'm going to draw. That's the whole reason why I'm doing this. So let's see. Let's see. Have any tips for people who want to improve their art? Okay, so tip number 1: draws all the time.
I was gonna say, like, just freaking draw. The only way to improve is to just draw. It takes a lot of
Art's
time.
kind of like a muscle.
It is.
You have to develop it and you have to work it.
It's not the same as like science or math or whatever. There's no tricks. It's just time and effort.
Can't learn a formula and suddenly you're gonna be able to do it all the time. To like train like your muscle, like there's like a muscle memory too. You have to like train your eyes to look for certain things. There's like
exactly.
You almost have to.
People really underestimate training your eyes.
Yeah, and you have to like develop your brain to recognize like different patterns and that kind of stuff. Like looking for tangents without like thinking that you're looking for tangents, and like knowing what good anatomy looks like without like having to consciously think, okay, this is what this anatomy is gonna look like. Just little things like that that I think kind of go unrecognized.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I love drawing like hair. I don't know why.
You're so good at it too. Like the flowing shapes on all your pieces.
It's just sort of fun. It's like therapy a little bit.
Candlebloom says, a Chad stream? Do mine eyes deceive me? Lots of question marks.
We are back.
Candlebloom, we've been doing these weekly. For the past 3 weeks, I think.
Okay, actually, I wanted to ask you guys, because we've been doing this on Thursday. Well, next Thursday is a holiday.
Ruh-roh-raggedy.
So
true. Oof.
So would we want to push it to Wednesday or maybe to Friday? Or do we take the week off? Like,
that's a very good question.
I know what's going on.
As of right now, I don't have anything planned for Thursday or Friday. Not Thursday, sorry, Friday or
I was gonna say, like, Thursday Wednesday. I think overall is kind of a no-go.
Yeah, no, there's gonna be way too much stuff going on. We're not doing...
We'll probably have to skip next week, I think.
Or, you know, we'll keep you posted on social media. That's like the...
We will.
Here we go.
Are we lying?
Like
we don't know, but we will try.
Yeah. Perry and Ray
keep you on our thoughts and prayers.
Will not let me forget. So if it doesn't happen, it's their fault. Remember that.
Wow.
What? You know what, sir?
I'm teasing. I'm being facetious.
Say, no, you're not.
I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. I sort of like this.
Oh
I don't know.
no.
I really like the
Like-
silhouette. It's good.
Yeah. I just find it funny that like I feel like this was kind of a joke thing. Like, yeah, let's just do a sexy one because vampire.
And now
but then
it's
it's
I
like,
know,
oh
and
no.
now it's a viable
Yeah.
option. Now it's a completely
wait a
viable
minute.
option. And
That just the way.
I sort of want to, but here's the thing: I sort of want to read the comic where this is the option too.
Right?
I mean, that's the
It's
whole
like, ooh,
thing
who's-
about
Oh.
comics being what in the world is going on right now, where my brush is not doing what I want it to do. That would be why. Wow, way too light. Ah! Am I froze? Whoa, man, that was weird. Did I tell you guys that I crashed Procreate the other day?
No.
Leave it to Chad.
Did you do that?
I don't know. I did it though.
Okay.
Just I probably doing the same thing we're doing now, except minus streaming. Just drawing on it.
Yeah.
Beefcake vampires.
Does this ever happen where like I'll be drawing sometimes, and I think it's whenever I'm using Procreate for extended periods of time. I'll be drawing, then for some reason my pen just goes off in like all different directions and like makes these really random strokes.
That's called.
Does that ever happen to you guys or
That's
no?
the devil. That's
The
the
what?
devil doing it.
Satan's like, I want to turn.
Seems legit.
You guys, it is 7:22. We've got a.
422, Chad.
722?
Did I say 7:22?
You
He
did.
said 722.
Oh, dyslexia.
I was gonna say,
How
I'm
is-
like, all right, well, we've missed class.
That would not be a bad thing. That would not be a bad thing. If we
I thought we were gonna watch the show today.
Well, I know, but I'm so ready to be done, and I have so much
Yeah.
junk to do. It's-
Big mood there.
Ugh.
I feel
Okay, Going
that.
on page 5 of comic now. I swear page 4 is finally done. I think.
Guys, I sort of like sex and vampires.
Okay, I want a sticker that says that.
You know, let's name
Kind
it
of like
guys.
sexy vampire.
I kinda like sexy vampires.
That's your working title?
Yeah, there we go.
Yes!
I kind of like sexy vampires.
That looks
Oh my
really
gosh,
good,
there we
go.
actually.
Copyright.
Protagonist's journey to realizing
Right, Chad, hold
the love for
Acceptance.
sexy vampires.
Personal
Yes!
acceptance. Oh man, yeah, okay. I would say the bottom two are
Okay.
probably the strongest ones. Ask your
I have no
writer,
idea how bad this.
see how it goes.
I-
If you want a more ominous vibe, definitely add some of the stuff we were talking about.
Okay.
I think it could look really cool, especially if you were to follow like the patterns of a nervous system or something.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I'm definitely gonna add. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna add all that. So.
Yeah.
but
I'm just sensing fanfiction on the horizon.
I still think this number one's a viable option. I really do.
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
simple. It's a lot more mysterious because we're not telling as
It is.
much. It's going to be tricky. I'm definitely going to have to shoot reference for this. There's no way I'm pulling
Yeah,
this
for
off
sure.
without some serious reference. So I'm going to have to find someone who's willing to help me out on that. This is also
Chris
definitely
will
an
do it.
option. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to have to find. I don't know. This is going to be hard. If this is the way we want to go, I don't know. Jared's definitely not going to choose this one. Jared's like, what? No, Chad, no. And then like spray me down with cold water.
I mean,
So with
okay,
the bat-
what if you did it so that the two chicks have bitten this guy and he's like in pain as he's turning or something like that.
Ooh, kinky.
Well,
Stop! I just mean it would add that like edge to show like, yeah, this is not actually a romance comic. There's something very wrong here.
yeah. Anyway, we still like it. So this is as far as we got this stream. But I think that's that's a good amount of work for what? How long? An hour and 25 minutes?
About hour 25 minutes, almost an hour and a half.
Hour 25.
Not
No,
too
not
shabby.
at all.
So we will end it there. I was hoping to have an update on our Spider-Man cover, but you know what? I can check real quick. Let me just check and see. Think. That'd be a really great way to end if it was in my inbox.
With the colors and stuff.
It's not though. All right. Daggone.
Dang.
So
No
maybe next
miracles
time.
today.
Maybe next time, guys. We'll give you an update there. But yeah, tune in. So we'll I guess we're gonna decide if we're gonna shuffle it around for things. You know what we could do? What if we did a Friendsgiving stream? Because
Might be a lot to coordinate.
We've done it before.
Okay.
It was a little crazy. We'll think about it. We'll think
see.
about
Okay.
it and we'll keep you posted. So, anywho, that's it. Ray, Perry, thank you for joining me and
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
train me in your online ways. Honestly,
sure.
it's funny that we're doing a vampire comic. Have you guys ever seen Interview with a Vampire?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I have.
So Ray, that's your homework. You got to watch this movie.
Be cultured, Ray.
Well, what I love about it though, and I think it's so true, is Lestat basically has to create a new vampire for like every new generation, so he can continue. It's almost like he needs someone to train him how to live in the modern era. And
Interesting.
in a weird way, that's what you guys are doing with me right now. Because like I could not figure any of this out. Allison tried to help me. You guys are trying to help me now, but I couldn't figure out the streaming. I couldn't do any of this. So thank you for doing it without becoming vampires. But that's it.
I mean, I wouldn't really mind becoming a vampire personally, but
I knew you were gonna say something like that, Perry.
I'm
knew it.
predictable. I know. I have my priorities set.
I think if I lived in Las Vegas, I could do it. I couldn't do it in Utah. You'd starve to death.
Yeah, that's true. I'd have to leave.
Yeah, everyone's inside when sun goes down. They're like, I think I'll go take a nap. Las
I
Vegas.
mean, right now the sun's going down at like 6.
I know, and people don't leave their house. So,
Oh, that's true.
but Vegas, you could you know what? That if there's another great vampire movie, Fright Night, the new Fright Night.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, you need to watch both of them. Enjoy the 80s version for the corny goodness, and enjoy the new one for. It makes me so sad. The actor was the kid that played Chekhov, the one that passed away. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It makes you like doubly sad because like I would love to have seen a sequel to that. Anyway, great vampire. Oh, but it also has David Tennant as the vampire hunter. So there you go. You have to watch it.
David Tennant. Yes. Okay, done.
Yeah. So Fright Night. Watch David Tennant as the vampire hunter. And we'll keep you posted. Hopefully we'll be back next week. Thank you for being with us. You guys want to say anything before we go?
See ya.
See ya.
The gold.
All right. Stay golden. Stay golden, Pokemon.
Bye.
All right. That's it. Bye-bye.